So I think the issue that we really want to look at with the PUD is what we want our city to look like
Yes.
in the future. Because even if we want to give smaller lots in exchange for some playground equipment, that's fine in the short run, but 20 years from now, I mean, we don't want to just look at the short run. We want to look at what we want our city to look like in the future. And that's why I'm in favor of removing the PUD code, is I don't think we want those smaller lots. I don't think we want the extra open space.
Okay, let's move on. We'll bring it back up in the regular session. Attach impact fee schedule to city ordinance.
Okay.
Just real quick.
This one, so the impact fees were approved last spring. The 90-day period was expired at the first of the fiscal year. So basically at that point in time, we started to charge the new rates for the impact fees. The final step with this is just to update the table in the code with these new fees. That's all you're seeing in this. And we have had with the impact fee, with that whole discussion, we had public hearings, and so we don't need to have an additional public hearing with this. We've already had the public hearing, we just need
The
to
formal approval.
formally approve the amendment and move it on.
Okay. Number 7, discussion of YouTube Comcast broadcast of meetings. We're here. Is there any discussion, any questions any of the council has relative to that?
It'd be interesting to just know what the, where it goes from here. You know, this one is now that it's going to be available to the residents on YouTube, right?
Yes, I've already developed a Elk Ridge YouTube channel,
Okay.
and so I will upload that in the morning, and it'll be available. And then hopefully from then on, I've got to find out where your connection for the internet stuff is, then I can actually do it live on YouTube. And then we're just waiting for Comcast to contact you and make arrangements to put in what they need to make a live feed on that. Yes.
Who's this being funded?
It's all free. Comcast
Back up
offers
to
their
tap,
channel.
though.
Pardon?
Is it a public service by Comcast or what?
Yes. And me.
The question I have right now, we negotiated some time ago with Comcast to bring their service to this facility, and they were willing to do that, but we said we've got to have it there and our Public Works building, and they would not do that. So if they're going to, are we in a situation where if they're going to bring that service to our building, is there a charge to the city that we have to pay Comcast to bring that service here to our building?
As far as I know, for the one that needs this to be put on their station, there isn't.
Okay,
But for the other thing, there may be.
that would be a clarification we would want at some point if.
So I'll contact them and find out myself.
Yeah, we want a definite communication there on that issue.
Try and do this all free as much as I can, so that sort of.
And then the question, and then it would be, as I understand it would be a dedicated channel, like
Yes.
when I'm 17.
Yes, you
Is-
play things on it 24 hours a day,
Okay.
and we're slowly going to have to build up to that, of course.
Okay.
So we don't have enough programs to do 24 hours a day.
Okay.
So far, but in the future, that's what, if we know that, if the citizens know at 6 o'clock, it's going to be live on Comcast 17, live on YouTube, then they can make sure they watch it.
Okay, number 8, minimum fee requirement for plan check reviews on building permits excluding homes. What we're asking is, if someone wants an accessory apartment, if they want a shed, that sort of a thing. It's outside of the regular fee that is attached to a structure of a home. And what we're trying to do is want to make sure that if we're already paying Sunrise to go out and do a plan check or plan review, but there's no fee being collected for an accessory building, that sort of a thing. We're just trying to cover our base. Am I getting this correct? Okay.
So how much are we paying Sunrise for that service?
It just, for the most part, it's $50 an hour. It just depends on how long it takes him to review that. If it's something simple, it's 15 minutes out of the $50, so.
So if it was a half hour, it'd be 25 bucks. That would be paying them.
So what we're wondering, if we just establish a minimum fee regardless,
Yeah.
we would be covered with that. And on some, we would make a little bit more than others, but that would cover the administration fee and the fee charged by Sunrise. And so there was a recommendation of somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 for that.
So when I pick up the phone and I call my attorney, the meter starts running. When I hang up, they send me an invoice for the amount of time that I'm on the phone with them. If Sunrise is the one doing this, and they are sending us a bill, I would like to think that they have a pretty good accounting as to the amount of time that they're actually doing that specific task. You know, if they're accounting at that level, why can't we pass the actual cost on? Because I see no reason why if I put an 8 by 15 shed on my property, that I have to pay the same as the guy that puts a
36 by
30, yeah, a big huge garage on his property. I mean, because then I'm subsidizing the other guy.
And the cost gets passed on, but like when a person does a home, we ask for $1,000 up front to get through certain processes. Then we define what the building permit will be, and then they'll pay all the costs, and that will be deducted, the $1,000 will be deducted from the total cost. But on some of these smaller ones, we're not collecting anything up front, so if all of a sudden they decide not to do something, and the city incurs an expense, we want to make sure that we've got something up front. So if they proceed, they're still going to get all the costs associated with doing the project. But we just want to make sure that something's given up front.
And sometimes the administrative cost to track each hour outweighs.
I'm just asking the questions here, you know. I mean, that's,
No, I know, and I'm
rather than
just
just
saying,
saying,
if
let's
it's,
pull a number out of the air like Payson did with the sewer agreement and just sticking it to everybody, let's have a number that makes sense and let's run with it. That's all I'm asking.
yeah, we definitely need to cover our administrative
Royce,
costs.
what would you
plus
recommend that we do?
Sunrise fees.
I mean, it does go through you all the time. It has to, you're the one who has to track it.
Well, and as we talked about, we thought if we started with the $50, at least we had something, that we know that if you get past the $50, they're probably going to proceed with the project. So we just was going with, to start with the $50.
And that's just for the plan review.
Again, all fees associated with what they're doing are going to be charged. It's just that we want something up front to move the project forward so they can't. We've done some things and then they decide, oh, I guess I'm not going to do it now. So,
And we still get billed.
and we get all the phone calls and all that stuff. We felt $50 was, for those smaller projects, was
And then we
adequate
would
to
still
start.
apply that $50 towards the total
Yeah.
permit cost. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. We'll close our work session.